If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a...
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position.
At their own 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And Mariota going to put it up right away. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, Mariota. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
3rd play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Mariota. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Arnold Ebiketie gets there for the stop. Well, this defense for the Falcons, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2?
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. That's taken at around the 40. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be Falcon football.
At their own 48-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And he is going to have a Falcons first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
From the 38, Mariota. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Mariota. And it's caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Demir Bird, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, Newton to keep it. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Seahawks at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from evening this one up. And the kick here no good, but a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into, and they'll accept that penalty. Now for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 24. To throw Mariota. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. Throw caught here by Bird. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. 1st carry now for Trey Sermon. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mariota got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 7-7, our score after 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Mariota. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
A 1st down throw for Mariota. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing, Mariota. And his throw here is incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Back to the ground now, Patterson. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Mariota. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play fake. Mariota. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From the 6. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Falcons grab it. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Demir Bird with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown, CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a short memory after you make a mistake in the NFL. I don't totally subscribe to that, partner. I think that you have to remember what you did and figure out how to not do it again. Get out there and execute the next time out. Avoid those errors and get some momentum built back up for your offense.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Newton to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
On 2nd down and 4, Mariota finding his safety. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Falcons take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From the 6. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Newton. They set up the screen to Penny. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. The Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. around the NFL. Second quarter down in Tampa. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Mariota's throw taken in by London. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 4th down, Mariota is off, and on comes Atlanta's Younghoe Koo. From the right hash, this from 48. And this will not have the distance to get there. Short, no good, just under the crossbar.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now, despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
To throw again on second down. Mariota. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And I don't think he got started. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Got a man, it's London. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the run, Newton going to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Arnold Ebiketie able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
3rd and long. It's Newton. Noah Fant with a catch on the crossing route. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Mariota looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. The defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Back to it after the pick 6. Mariota. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the 1st half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Returnable for Lockett. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This is taken at the 23. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 33-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Patterson running between the tackles. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Mariota into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. But that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Grady Jarrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with third and long, which means you've got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Penny, boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. An incompletion there on fourth and goal from the 3. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Now Patterson to start the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. On second down, a run with Patterson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with third and 11 coming up. Just thinking ahead of down, if I'm the punter right now, I'm saying, fellas, just get me out to the 3, the 4, maybe the 5-yard line here.
You know what else you're thinking? I'm not taking any steps backwards because you might step out the back of the end zone. That's catch and punt. But if you're running the football now, you've got a little bit of a cushion. Just make sure you take care of it and get what you can and set up the punt.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You always think about picking up the first down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield. Unable to connect, but admire the effort.
And he spins away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. Now the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On first down, it's Newton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Walker. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Newton. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Newton. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Cam to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. But collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get now from the 30. And they take a knee. And they will take a knee here. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, You think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Atlanta, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.